Vegas, it is a big fight week here in the city for the first time. WWE and NXT will be at UFC Apex. A few tickets available. Access.com, AXS.com. And of course, you can catch the action June 9th, this upcoming Sunday night, exclusively on Peacock. And joining us, we go from the legend of Shawn Michaels to the NXT champion, legend in the making, Trick Williams. Trick, listen, it's a cool situation to have you on the show because you're not only the future, but you're the present. And before we get into things that's happening in the ring, I need to take you back to Philly. I'm glad you remember. I asked you a question. I asked you. I asked Shelton Benjamin. I asked the Street Profits. Who else did I ask? Ricochet, Samantha Irvin. You were the only one that went on a ledge and didn't not pick a side. And you said, I'm Team Kendrick. It seems like the dust is settled.
Was I right?
I think you was right. Shout out to you. If you want to speak your truth and kind of how this all played out and what you thought of it.
They not like us. They not like us. Nah, they not like us. Come on, man. I mean, for real. I mean, shout out to Kendrick because I just know he a real one, man. He's truly into the craft. You know what I mean? And I just respect him because he stayed true to who he was. I mean, not that I'm anti anybody else, I just, I'm partial to Kendrick on this one. And on top of that, everybody loves my entrance music, my theme song. My entrance music is based similarly off of Family Ties by Kendrick Lamar. So that just lets you know how deep the roots go back. I said, I want a beat that sounds something like this. And I played Kendrick Lamar, Family Ties. You got this. Now we're whooping that trick all over America. Let's talk about
it. And let me tie this in even better. Family Ties with Baby Keem, Kendrick's cousin, born and raised here in Las Vegas. Basically, What you're saying is Kendrick and Baby Keem got the invite to Battleground, correct?
Hey, can you write a story better than this? It just happens organically.
It's a beautiful thing. Another thing that's kind of happened organically, that's been beautiful to see play out. Homegirl Sexyy Red. What do you make? She brought you guys out, did a little twerking. She did her thing. Like, any impressions? What's going on?
Hey, man, that's all on her, man. Man, she was such she cool to work with, man. Like the vibes is supernatural. I told her, like, hey, man, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to come out. We're going to do our interests. We're going to rock out. We're just going to vibe. You know what I mean? I'm going to take the right. Javon Evans going to take the left. You take the middle. You do your thing. I'm going to help you in the ring. Let's just see how I go. And we run the play. I help her in the ring. I go to my corner. Javon go to his. And I just happened to peek my head over the shoulder to see what Sexyy Red was doing. And she in a full split. Now, mind you, I just wasn't ready for I wasn't ready for all that. She, but she did what she did for the vibe of the whole entrance. You know what I mean? And it got the ratings that we needed. So shout out to Sexyy Red.
Trick, when the beat goes hard, you can never control how someone's going to react to it, and that's all that is. If I could take you back a few weeks, and I got the quote here, bar for bar. You threw a line at Lash Legend, and let me just say it. I know exactly what your type is. You think I'm a little Reese's cup, don't you? I bet you want to take this gold off and get straight to the chocolate on the inside, don't you? Who helped you with this? If you use this line in real life, what's going on? He put the glass. Where did this come from? I need the inspiration, my G. Let me get my notes out.
That's all me, Trick Willie Wonka. You know what I mean? Like, hey, the chocolate factory himself, Trick Willie, let's talk about it.
That's a beautiful thing. And I may or may not, I'm going to do a little remix to it. Let me see how it works out for me. I don't think I'm going to have the success rate that you get because you're the one with the belt, but you got to shoot your shots. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of shooting your shots, to shoot a ball, you need to have the ball. And you've talked a lot about wanting to get that ball, going to Shawn and being like, hey, man, I want to take this and go, and I want to try to score a touchdown. And, in Philly, a lot of things that were said was, hey, this is a new era. Coming to Vegas, this is something new. As you guys head to the CW, this is a fresh new era. Some of Carmelo and the rest of the roster, some of them have been moved up. And this is you getting the ball. Like, if I could, at what point, because obviously this has been a 2-year run, it feels like this has happened instantly. When did you feel that the switch went off in your head?
Man, I was just talking about this, man. I had to say it was probably a match with Ilja Dragunov. I believe it was Heat Wave. But I remember as he proceeded to kick me in the head over and over and over, and the vision on my left eye was blurry. I said, I am in a fight. And it's in my best interest to just lay it all on the line and go out fighting, regardless of what happens. You know what I mean? Having that spirit of a fighter, that spirit of a champion. You know what I mean? And did I win the match? No. But I earned everybody's respect that night. And the reception I got from the audience that night was crazy because they say, Trick just fought. Ilja Dragunov, of course he fights. That's what he does. But it's literally that simple, man. It's not about flips and all this other type of stuff, man. It's about getting in there and putting your heart in the ring. And I think since that moment, I've been able to approach this game totally different.
And I thought cool during the Mania run in Memphis, The Rock comes out. He's about to get out the Mama Rhodes belt. And obviously Memphis knows a lot about whooping that trick. Shout out to the Grizzlies. But to hear that to the point that I'm not even sure if The Rock knew exactly what the hell was going on as the sold out crowd was chanting for you. And that moment with The Rock was probably the biggest one, but it's happened throughout some of these shows leading up to this. And even when you came out to SmackDown, I think it was in Miami, to get that reception, to know that The Rock, the biggest star in the world, and the crowd wasn't chanting for him, my G, chanting for you. How did that feel like?
Well, as much as I like to take all the credit for it, I'll say this. Whoop That Trick is a Memphis thing, as we both know. The movie, drawing blank.
Hustle and Flow.
No, thank you. Hustle and Flow, based out of Memphis. It's actually written by a guy named Al Capone, who has given me the blessing to continue to whoop that trick all over the world. The actual songwriter, Al Capone. Shout out to Al Capone. So what I'll say is this. Did I invent the term whoop that trick? Absolutely not. It's to play off my name. But, it's just the people came up with the chant for me inside of wrestling. So I would like to say inside of wrestling, whoop that trick has been popularized by the one and only Trick Williams. Now, am I going to say that, hey, was they expecting for me to come out and lay a people's elbow on The Rock? I'm not going to say that. All I'm going to say is the phrase whoop that trick, I feel like I had a lot to do to help popularize that inside of wrestling. And that's all I can take credit for. You know what I mean? The rest is history.
That's amazing. And we'll close out with this. By the way, there might be a location for you to drop that people's elbow on him. WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. Tickets going on sale soon enough, I hope. But we'll close out with this. And I got the chance to ask Sean this. And obviously, Sean running everything. This is a different perspective, which is why I want to ask you. CM Punk being around the facility, kind of mentoring. There's been a few moments that WWE's captured, kind of helping you and some others, whether it's called mentoring, whatever you want to call it. To have that, what's the one thing that stood out? Getting to have those conversations and the time with him in the Performance Center.
And mentor is a perfect way to put it, man. He's been, a blessing for all of us who, would take the time to actually go talk to him and reach out to him. He's helped me with a few things that I feel like if the crowd knew about it, they'll be very grateful that he did. And I'm just leave it there. Shout out to CM Punk, man. He's been a positive light for all of us here in Nxt'S.
Man, you've been a positive light for the WWE universe. Keep doing your thing, man. This Sunday, UFC Apex NXT Battleground for the first time ever. Doing it in Vegas, doing it at Apex. A few tickets left, access.com. And again, Sunday night, June 9th, you could stream it exclusively on Peacock. The WWE NXT World Champion, Trick Williams, South Carolina. Shout out to Asia Wilson and Trick. Thank you for the time, brother.
Hey, let's talk about it. Appreciate you, Adrian. It's my pleasure.